Hello, I thought I'd give you a little tour of my train platform. I started it in 2003. It's 16 feet long and 5 feet wide. When I built it, it was just a flat green platform with 2 loops. And a couple years later, I tore it all apart and added 2 other layers to it. You can run 2 trains simultaneously on the bottom level, 1 train on the mid-level, and another small train, little coal train that runs around the top of the mountain. I designed it so that you could take it apart someday, take it out of this basement, or maybe add to it in the middle, split it down the middle, it comes apart. I've incorporated lots of different details. It's pretty busy. I've got 2 small kids, so they enjoy all the small active things, accessories you can see. I have both American Flyer, American models, showcase line, and MTH S-gauge cars used throughout the layout. As you can see, I've incorporated several buttons on the face of the train platform for things that visitors can use. Right now, I'm going to demonstrate the music button that runs some music in town, and the water tower button. We've also incorporated the American Flyer mail catcher accessory here in the front of the train platform that everyone likes. We've got a coal loader, American Flyer, across the back here. We've got the American Flyer smaller log loader. We've got the lumber mill, the sawmill. Next, the water tower, the activating water tower. Then the barrel loader. It's kind of my industrial park across the back of the train platform. And then we have Gabe, the lamp lighter, there at the far end. And then finally the magnetic crane that lines up the freight end of the train platform. I've pretty much kept the freight on the upper level and put the passenger tracks, thinking that this is a suburban area just outside of a major city, and the major passenger trains are kind of isolated from the freight trains. You can see in the foreground here a showcase line built circus train that I'm pulling with American Flyer by Lionel B&O, and then I've made my own kind of circus train passenger car out of American models passenger car, and then I've customized some loads and put some animals in this really beautiful circus train set that they had built. Big part of the display is a circus. So we've got the circus train that I just talked about a minute ago, and here's the circus parade coming through town. I've got a series of cars and lead figures that I've gotten from different sources. They're parading right through Main Street in this small end of the suburban town that I've built. This is the mountain and river end of the train platform. I wanted to have a big mountain even though I didn't have a big platform, so I built this kind of loop at the top here that's got an ore train on it pulled by Union Pacific by Showcase Line. And then in amongst the trees there, I've got some camping equipment there. As a kid, I did a lot of camping, and I kind of wanted to put a point on that part of my history. I've also incorporated Santa Claus, the big man there on the top of the mountain, there on top of the rooftop. And again, that's activated by a button. You can see there, Rudolph's nose is glowing.
part contract through for Texas Broadway Limited. And again.
So one of the features of the train platform is the tool levels. In below the first level, I've actually got a series of switches and sidings so that I can run multiple trains on this lower level. I've got a total of 5 different sidings that are there with different tracks that allow me to run a whole series of different trains on that lower level, passenger level of the train platform. So here's my control panel. I spent a lot of time on this piece of the platform thinking about the future and that it could expand. I've incorporated both conventional control and legacy control. You can see my legacy Lionel controller there as well. I've used a laser cutter and made these kind of custom control panels. There's the power one there, you can see. I got meters on all my major tracks. I can switch between conventional control and legacy control. I've got my accessories here in the middle, and then at the far side here I've got my track plan laid out with buttons and switches. Below that is all the automated controls that allow me to control it automatically with the controller. And you can see over here I've got my conventional controller down below here, and you can slide this element out for easier access. I've incorporated button controllers that run mainly the American models horns and will run some Lionel horns and bells in a conventional mode. And then I can also run conventional trains in a legacy mode. So I've got 2 track power controllers and 2 Lionel bricks down here that allow me to run conventional trains using the legacy remote. The rest of it's space for expansion. There's 2 areas here on the far side that right now I'm using for parts storage, but those are ideas that those could have additional transformers and additional controls. And then across here is my messy shop area where I fix things and put things back together and clean things up. So this will wrap up my tour of the train platform here. I think the next plans for the train platform are to get a little more into scenery. You can see obviously I've got no backdrop there. I'm not ballasted on the tracks, and I certainly don't have enough trees on my mountain there. So I'd like to get further into that part of it and start to get more detailed and add some grass and ground cover and those kinds of things, as well as maybe put some larger buildings, factory type buildings as backdrops and some sky behind the platform. I'll update you later if I make further progress. Bye.